So, do you think a Mexican vacation is out of reach? We're here to tell you Mexico can be dirt cheap to travel to, live to, vacation, or visit. We have been doing it for years and we're going to show you exactly how. So, let's check it out. Is that
Hey guys, it's Paula and Natasha with Nomadic-AF. Today we are going to be talking about how you can live on a budget in Mexico like we do. We live in this beautiful beach house. We've been in Mexico for 8 years, travel all the time, and we do it super cheap.
Yeah, we just stayed in Mexico City, which everybody thinks is expensive. We stayed in amazing hotels for like $15 to $20 a night. We get the tourist attractions for like less than $1. We've got it all. We are not just influencers who have never been to Mexico. We live this shit. So we know
Yeah.
exactly what we're talking about. So, right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
Right on.
So our first tip for living on a budget in Mexico is live where the locals do. Tourist zones are super inflated.
Ridiculously inflated. If you see white faces and gringos, you are paying too much. We lived in Playa del Carmen, 1 block from the beach, and we had a beautiful apartment, had a slight ocean view, but whatever, and it was $400 a month.
Yeah, super walkable, super safe, all of that good stuff. And if you just look 5 or even 10 blocks away, prices drop really
Dramatically,
fast.
yeah.
And this counts for hotels, apartments, hostels, all of that.
All of that. Just get out of the tourist area into where the locals are, and you can live for next to nothing.
And you can still walk to the tourist areas in
Easy.
most cases.
Easy.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2 tip for living in Mexico on a budget is stop eating in these gringo restaurants or these touristy restaurants.
Yeah.
First of all, they're expensive, way overpriced, and the food is usually way worse.
It's subpar
It's
comparatively.
subpar
Yeah.
compared to the regular restaurants.
Maybe just go to these local economicas, these local cocinas, the fondas, where they specialize in good quality Mexican food. And it might be a smaller menu, but it's going to be all better.
Right, and you can get a full meal. You can get the drink, a soup, a meal of like chicken empanizado or fish or whatever, and a dessert for like
80 to 100 pesos.
oh, not even, yeah. So $3 to $4, maybe $5 at the most.
Yeah.
And that could fill you up all day if you're on an extreme budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't worry about like getting sick or like getting Montezuma's revenge. It doesn't happen. That's just a myth. So
we have eaten all over Mexico, every kind of street stall that you can imagine, and we have never been sick, but we have wanted a vegetable every once in a while
yeah,
after
you're not
a
gonna
lot
get
of
a lot
street
of veggies,
food.
yeah. All right. If you're going to be living here long-ish term, like I'd say 30 days or
Yeah.
maybe more, maybe even 2 weeks or more,
Yeah.
get a place with a kitchen. It doesn't matter if it's a hostel. It doesn't matter if it's a friggin' hot plate. You're going to want to cook some of your meals. Even though an economica is economical,
Yeah.
it still does add up where you can make your own meal for $2. It might cost you $5 to eat out. If you're on an extreme budget, a kitchen is going to save you a ton.
We even just stayed in a hotel recently that had a hot water tap, and we were super happy because we could make soup cups and stuff like that.
That was it. Yep.
Yeah. So the next budget tip for visiting, living, and traveling in Mexico is domestic flights are incredibly cheap. So you can see many cities on a budget.
Yeah, and I don't mean like, oh, they're like less than $100. I mean, we're buying tickets for like $5, $10, $15. Now that doesn't include the $30 tax that the airport
Yeah, the
tax.
taxes are more expensive in most cases.
Always, they're more expensive than the flight itself. But we can fly from Mexico City to Puerto Escondido for $20, right?
Yeah, all in.
Always look at the domestic flights: Valeros, Aeromexico, Viva Aerobus.
Viva Aerobus.
Viva Aerobus.
Yeah.
These cheap flights you can see the whole country for nothing, so check them out for sure.
Yeah, and this definitely leads into the next one as well.
Yeah, just use carry-on bags. Do not check your bags, right? Because every time you check your bag, that raises your ticket price $60. If there's 2 of you, you're paying 120 more. That could be,
Yeah, that's way more than your flight.
that's way more than the flight.
Is your stuff more valuable than you?
Yeah, right. So try to get everything into a carry-on. We've never stopped traveling, and all we have is carry-ons. It's very doable.
And maybe 10 years ago it was hard to get stuff in Mexico, but now you can literally get things delivered to your door, or you can just go, there's box stores, you can buy anything you need.
Yeah, anything you need you can get here. You don't need to carry it all. Number 6 tip for living on a budget in Mexico is stay in one place longer, right?
Yeah, it's so much better anyway.
It really is, because you get to know the people, you get to know the area, the culture, everything. If you're bounce, you're not getting any kind of discount on your lodging. You're not staying anywhere long enough to really appreciate it. So
if you stay somewhere for more than a week, you can even just negotiate for a lower price for a longer term.
yeah, so check out the local vibe, check out the local scenario, stay a little bit, relax, even unpack, for God's sakes. Stay a little longer. It is much cheaper.
Definitely. So the next tip for living on a budget in Mexico is do not shop in US-based grocery stores.
Yeah, this is a big deal with expats. They shop at Sam's Club, Costco, Walmart. You don't see an expat inside a market ever, anywhere.
Yeah.
And if you're on a budget, those are the best places to shop, right? Just go to the local market, the local fruit and veg stores. We just picked up 10 mangoes and more than enough veg for dinner for like $2.
Yeah,
right?
it's way better quality as well.
Right. Stay away from the big box stores, the gringo stores, not odd lots. What are they called? Big lots or whatever the hell the big grocery stores are that we don't shop at.
Yeah.
Don't shop at them.
So the next budget tip for living in Mexico is embracing the rhythm of Mexican life.
Yeah, if you come in as a gringo wanting to live like a gringo, first of all, you're not going to make it. Second of all, you're going to be spending all your damn money. But when a Mexican goes to the beach, they bring their beer, they bring their stuff, they sit in a beach restaurant, drink their own liquor, and then order a ceviche.
Yeah. Totally common.
Oh yeah, totally common. Embrace the way Mexicans live because they know how to do it here and you don't. So if you want to save some money and stretch your vacation dollars,
live like a local.
Live like a local, for sure.
Yep.
All right, tip number 9 is just learn some Spanish. I mean, it's
even just a little bit.
Even just a little bit. Because if you're coming here on a budget and you think you're going to spend 1 peso on a mango and you don't speak a lick of Spanish,
you're getting foreigner pricing.
You might be getting foreigner pricing. I mean, it's not even just that they're gringoing you. It's just you do not know what you're doing. If they're saying, oh, this is like 50 pesos a kilo, you're not going to know what the hell they're saying.
I've seen a lot of people just hand them money and go,
I don't know. And they're like, bro, thanks, done.
Yeah, done.
Mission accomplished. But yeah, learn some Spanish because without it, you are not going to get the best pricing available. You're not going to get discounts in hotels. You're not even going to be able to ask for them.
Yeah, and places that do speak a lot of English are going to be more expensive as well.
Yep, because you're paying for the luxury of speaking English in Mexico.
And if you know any Spanish at all, you can live in some of these smaller, cheaper towns where your dollar will go much further.
Way further. All right. Number 10 tip for living on a budget in Mexico. Man, take advantage of this public transportation.
Yeah.
If you want to go from Playa to Tulum, I've seen people rent cars and private drivers.
It's insane.
You can get on a colectivo for I don't know what it is, $2, right?
Yeah.
And it's, it's a bus and you're going with other people. It's not private, but it's cheap. Every single town has collectivos from town to town and even within towns. There's collectivos that run up and down the main drags of beach towns.
And there's other ones that just fill up when they're full and go.
Yeah, so take advantage of this public transportation, buses, colectivos, motos,
Yeah.
that is the way to live cheap.
And something I do when we move to a place as well is I will get on Facebook groups and see what transportations are available in that specific location.
Right, because these public transports and colectivos,
they all are different.
They're all different in every city, everywhere. So take advantage of them.
Yeah. So the next one, and this is a really big one for me, is avoid ATMs with high fees.
Yeah, if you are in a tourist area, if you're on 5th Ave in Playa del Carmen, for God's sakes, do not use the ATM.
Don't use the ATM.
No, get out to a bank or a grocery, like a big like Chedraui or a big grocery store. They have ATMs all in there.
And this goes with our 5 to 10 rule of get 5 to 10 blocks off of the main area to find the cheapest stuff like ATMs.
Yeah, if you're going to an ATM every few days or a week, you're going to spend more on ATM fees, transaction fees, and the conversion fees.
Yeah.
Then you're going to be taken out of the money. So on that note, decline the conversion when you're asked. When you're taking money out of an ATM, it's going to say accept conversion, decline conversion.
Yeah, that's a bonus tip, but I think it is the best budget tip if you are going to be living or even visiting Mexico.
Yeah, we took out $500 and we saved $75 by declining the conversion.
Yeah.
So 100%
always, always do that.
Yep.
So the next budget tip for traveling to Mexico is stay in smaller towns near bigger tourist spots.
Exactly. So Playa del Carmen, ridiculously overpriced in the tourist areas anyways. Cancun, overpriced. Tulum, overpriced.
Stay in Puerto Morelos instead.
Yeah.
Go to Bacalar instead.
Exactly. And there are colectivos between the two. It's not like you can't get to it for cheap. You can spend $2 getting there.
Yeah.
But you are going to spend probably double the amount of money by staying in the tourist areas. Like Bacalar is a good suggestion. It's a beautiful town and it's half the price of Tulum.
Yeah.
You know, like,
and you can still get to Tulum if you want to take a day trip. So
for maybe this wouldn't work for tourists, right? But if you are a digital nomad, a perpetual traveler, just some hippie traveling, do this. Like your money will go so much further, you won't believe it.
Small towns are very, very inexpensive compared to the larger tourist towns.
Yeah. All right, our next tip. Buses. They go everywhere. So if you get a flight that's too expensive, or if you're checking your bags and the flight is out of price, take a bus. Buses go everywhere, and they're so nice.
They're so nice. They have Wi-Fi, bathrooms. Some are direct. Some are just stop at other towns, so you can just get off when you want and get on a different bus if you want to check that town out. But the best part about buses is that you can take as much luggage as you want.
They don't even care.
Free.
You want to take a couch, just put it under the fucking bus. They do not care.
They don't care.
And a second bonus tip for this is if you're scheduling town to town, take an overnight bus, because you just skipped a night of lodging, right? You didn't just skip $20, $30, $40 in lodging. Just take the overnight bus to where you're going. Sleep on the bus. They recline. They're cushy. They're comfortable. They have music. You're fine.
Yep. So the next budget tip for traveling to Mexico is going to be skip the expensive tours, because you can do it yourself instead.
Easily.
Yeah, and cheaper.
Yeah, much cheaper. But these tours that you book are incredibly overpriced. We were just in Mexico City. We wanted to go to Xochimilco, right?
Yeah.
There was a tour. It was cheap. It was like 500 pesos, right? Not
like
much.
25 bucks.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great price. We did it for less than what, $3 a person?
It was cheap. Yeah.
It was cheap.
We also have a video on that if you want to check it out.
Check it out. But you can schedule these tours yourself for a fraction of the cost. And that includes transportation, getting there, getting around, everything.
And you can research these expensive tours and what they offer, and then create a do-it-yourself plan based on that.
Yeah, right. I would definitely skip the paid tours. They are not worth it.
No. So this is a big, big, big budget tip for travelers that want to visit Mexico, and this is what we do to save a lot of money.
That's what we're doing right this
It's
second as we
house
video.
and pet sitting.
Yeah, we house and pet sit at least 6 months a year. We pay $0 in rent, zero in utilities, zero in everything. Pool cleaners are included. House cleaners sometimes are included.
Yeah.
We literally live expense-free 6 months a year, and it's easy. We have a ton of videos on this too, so
if you're interested in house sitting, definitely check those out.
yeah, subscribe so you get all our house sit updates too. But you can live, we only do it 6 months a year because it is work, but
it is work. Yeah,
you can do it all year round. Everybody needs house sitters out here. You can live forever for free. I mean, we have a beach view, pool, 4-bedroom house for nothing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we do know a lot of people that do it full time and love it.
Yep. All right, next tip for living in Mexico on a budget. Stop paying in US dollars. Don't bring your Canadian dollars.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You do not know how many times we see on these Facebook groups for expats like, oh, how much US should I bring down to spend? Bro,
none.
None.
Yeah.
Stop, we're in Mexico.
Yeah.
If you are paying in US dollars, you're probably paying at least 20%.
The exchange rate that they'll give you at a restaurant is ridiculous.
We recently saw on the beach 16 pesos to the dollar.
Yeah, and it's 20 at the ATM.
It's 20 at the ATM. Well, 19 something. But regardless, just don't bring US dollars. There is no need for it whatsoever. You are in Mexico.
Yeah.
Nothing spends better here than pesos.
And get them out of the ATM at the airport or once you arrive.
Yep. All right, tip 17. This is a big one. We see this happen all the time. I fell for it like just a couple of years ago. I didn't pay, but shop only in pharmacies that are spelled with an F.
Yeah.
If you want to run across a pharmacy that is spelled PH,
that's in English,
you are overpaying by a lot, maybe double.
Yeah.
So I went in, I went to get ibuprofen, right? A bottle of 20 800 milligram ibuprofens is how much? 50 pesos? Something like that?
Something like 30 probably.
$2
pesos.
maybe.
Yeah.
And there it was $12, right? And my mouth like dropped.
Yeah.
And she was like, you're going to have to go to the other pharmacy.
I literally just bought an 800 milligram pack of ibuprofen today. It was like 35 pesos.
Yeah. If you're going to a pharmacy that's spelled in English with a PH, you're paying too much. Do not ever buy anything, not even a cup of water. Don't even.
Walk a couple blocks and go to a pharmacy with an F.
Correct. Yep. 18th tip on living in Mexico on a budget is if you want to see tourist attractions, museums, or whatever, go on Sunday.
Yeah, it will definitely be more crowded, but Sundays are free days for locals and anyone else who just happens to be there.
Yeah, and it's everything. It's museums, it's water parks. I mean,
cenotes.
Yeah, some of them are just residents only, but some are not. So check out the prices on Sunday as opposed to every other day.
Yeah, like the History Museum and CDMX is free on Sundays as well.
Yep. Okay, tip 19. Drinks are expensive. Even if you don't drink liquor or beer or whatever.
Yeah. They can be 50% of your food costs.
They really can, especially if you're going for like tacos al pastor, right? We have tacos al pastor 2 for 1 on Tuesdays. We get 6 tacos. It costs us $3.
Yeah.
The drinks for 2 drinks are more than $2.
Yeah, that's where they make their money.
Yeah. Any restaurant out there will give you a vaso de agua, just a cup of water. It's clean drinking water with clean drinking ice. You don't have to worry about that nonsense where you're going to get sick from the water. Ain't nobody serving you tap water in Mexico.
Nobody drinks tap water. They wouldn't even think of serving you tap water. And the ice they don't make with tap water. They get it from delivered in bags.
Yeah, so just maybe skip the drink. I mean, I know it sounds like a stupid little savings, but honestly, every drink is $1.50 to $2, and your meal is only $3 to $4. So you're just cutting into tomorrow's meal budget.
Yeah.
Drink the water. It's clean. It's fresh. You'll love it.
Okay, so the last tip for living in Mexico on a budget is to travel in the off season.
Definitely.
There are definitely some cons to this.
There are cons to this. Like, we just went through a hurricane because we're here on the off season,
Yeah.
like literally yesterday. But you would not believe how cheap it is. Like, lodging is nothing in the off season. And I don't just mean like summer and winter off season. I mean like Semana Santa. If you're trying to get somewhere for Semana Santa,
Yeah, you're gonna be screwed.
the less we used to live in a little town in Mexico, and they had just a little menu. Let's just say everything was 100 pesos for food, right?
Yeah.
For Semana Santa, they had little stickers that they put over the price of 200 pesos. Everything doubled.
Was doubled.
And we went and showed up, and we were like,
What
oh,
the
so they
hell?
gave us the regular price anyways because we're regulars.
But
If you're traveling during holidays or high season,
expect to pay more.
you're going to blow through your budget
Yeah.
in half the time that you normally
Yeah, I do think traveling in off season is a lot funner as well because it's mostly just locals. All the gringos go home and you're just free to live a fun, enjoyable Mexican lifestyle.
That's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
All right, so these are our tips for living in Mexico on a budget. We have been doing this. We left 13 years ago south of the border, 8 years full-time in Mexico.
Yeah.
And we don't make hardly any money at all, and we live really well down here because we live on a budget. We're not doing touristy shit. We're not doing gringo stuff. We're not taking crazy tours that cost 10 times what they should.
And we have an enjoyable life.
We really do. You don't have, being on a budget doesn't mean you can't do stuff. I mean, you can do anything anybody else does. Just know how to do it cheaper. That's it.
Yeah. And if you like content like this, please like and subscribe, and definitely comment below too what you would like to see next, because we're always reading the comments and we're definitely posting what our viewers want to see.
Yep. All right. Safe
Till
travels.
next time.
Lights.